Happy One Wheel Wednesday, everybody. My name is Scott Mendenhall. Welcome to our YouTube channel today. We got a fun, just a scramble mess of topics that we're going to talk about. They're going to be a lot of fun to discuss. It is the Scott Mendenhall and Friends podcast. This is where my friends and I sit around. We interview some of those that are some of the most influential minds in the one wheel space, from Vest to One Wheel to Future Motion to whatever we're talking about. Today, it is what is the one wheel controversy? It seems like every week there's a new one. If it's not about one wheel being sued or who they're suing, or a product coming out and this brand suing this person or telling them to see, all kinds of hot stuff happening. So we're talking about all kinds of controversies, from products, from foot hooks to from tires to hubs to all kinds of things. So it's going to be a fun one, okay? If that doesn't get you intrigued by today, I don't know what will. We're going to talk about a trending clip from Dune that involves a one wheel as well. So, but let me introduce some of my friends. First, we're going to start with my best friend, my wife, Holly Mendenhall.
Hi, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
And she's been riding her one wheel for almost 2 solid weeks.
Yep. I was just commenting to Shane. It's super fun. I mean, I knew it was going to be fun, but now it's like, I look forward to my ride every day.
Yeah, she caught it. She jumped on where we're riding, or I started riding the year every day. I'm riding my one wheel every day, and we have 6 of the 8 kids that have been riding with me. And Holly, Mama Bear, decided at day 50 she's in. So she's been riding every day since, and it's been a lot of fun. And we've been documenting almost every night on my Instagram account all of her little tidbits of why or what. This, nonetheless, has been great. We have Lily, also a good friend of ours for over 15 years.
That's not right.
Yeah, it is.
But I wanted to know, Holly, what made you
Wait,
decide to do this?
No. We're going back to where you say we have been friends for 15 years.
So.
No.
Longer?
No.
Lily.
Right around it. Is
Lily.
it right?
Around.
Yeah.
It would be right around.
It's probably more like
14?
what is?
We've been.
You're
here,
almost
hey,
30.
We've been here for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And we met you
13 years.
13, I like
12 or 13.
Oh my gosh, this is like a
You
couple
can't
years.
round
or
for
side to
like
15.
500 and whatever 2 years is. You can't round that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize for offending my good friend, not so good
I'm
friend
not
apparently.
offended. I just am.
Apparently, we got to wait to the 15.
I'm a fan of accuracy.
Okay. We're always accurate around here. We just might jump up a number here or there. Nonetheless, what's your question for Holly?
What made you want to get in on the writing?
Well, that's a fair one.
Oh.
Yeah, why'd you do it?
It's kind of like that saying, "What's mine is yours. What's yours is mine."
Oh my gosh.
Wait, why would that be
I mean, like
here?
that was what something that Scott had set up that he was going to do for this whole year, and so part of it was like, okay, the kids are okay for a little bit if I'm riding in the yard or whatever. So part of it is age of kids and just getting out.
You
there
facing
and
your
actually doing
fear?
it.
Like, she has totally eaten it already.
I did.
You can see that on a YouTube short or whatever. She was trying to climb a grass hill on a GT, and you could see it in the video. She's pushing it. Haptic buds happens, and she didn't care. Plows into the ground.
I was gonna make it.
And you didn't.
didn't.
Straight.
Do you have that video?
I did not put it in here. Nah.
Oh, why not?
I don't know. You just go to the YouTube shorts. It's funny because she's great. Nonetheless, I
laugh at myself, so that is fine. It's good.
Let's talk about something that is trending, and it involves one wheels. This is pop culture at its best. Someone had a genius idea. They must be a massive fan of the movie Dune, which just dropped recently in movie theaters, to create the worm from Dune. Here's a screen grab from the movie where the main character is riding the worm in the desert, okay? Now, if you've not seen the movie, this is just a picture of it, okay? He's standing on top of a worm. You gotta go see the movie if you understand it any better than that, okay?
Kind of hard to...
Someone that goes under the name on Instagram, Red Prince Rising, they had a creative idea to recreate the worm and write it to the movie when watching Dune. Here is their picture of the creation of the worm. You see him right in the middle, and that's their Instagram.
Awesome.
Now that is what has blown up in the one-wheel culture and past, because entertainment weekly, I think it is, and Jimmy Fallon played this clip of this guy riding in the movie theater, which is spectacular, super creative. Here is the footage that is like gotten all kinds of attention of this guy making his own little worm.
Oh my God.
All of the Dune fans out there know what the actual technical term for the worm is.
Sandworm, isn't it?
From the movie Dune. I can't say that it's the same. I've seen Dune. I just don't remember what it's
well
called.
Well done.
But he's in the movie theater riding
that's
it.
legit.
The goggles are great. The
Worm
whole thing.
rider.
It's like, could have Dune asked for any better publicity
Yeah.
than this? Super creative. We just wanted all of those in the community to see something that you should probably go over to the Red Prince Rising on Instagram. Give a thumbs up to that. He's trying to get Jimmy Fallon to bring him on to the show to ride his worm.
Yeah, that's sweet.
That was sweet. I could celebrate that. It's got a one wheel in it. It's so
It
super
is.
creative.
It is an extraterrestrial called the sandworm.
Wow, that's real creative for Dune. Because I think that's what all sci-fi movies call the worms that are in the sand.
Well,
Yeah. In the
like-
fantasy
it
book
says
I'm reading,
it's
there's
from-
a worm called a worm, but it's WRYM.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's like you're just taking ideas from other things.
Yeah,
and
like-
making it your own.
You go to Star Wars, I think sandworms. I think you go to an old 90s movie, Tremors,
They were
sandworms.
called
I don't know what they're
Tremors.
called.
They
How
were
about the
called
worms
Tremors.
from Beetlejuice? Those guys that come sandworms. These are, I'm just
I don't know, guys.
we're not expecting you to know. But nonetheless, just if you hadn't seen it, you need
It's
to see
cool.
it. It is really, really clever. I like seeing those things. Obviously, the person behind the costume must be a big fan of the movie. I've not seen the second part. First part, I watched it on my iPad in an airplane. Probably should rewatch it. It wasn't something that set me off. And maybe it was because
I'll be honest, I don't have any desire to watch it.
Why?
I don't like extraterrestrials.
Okay. Wow. All right. Thank you. Thanks for playing, Holly. Thanks for sharing your opinion. It is valued here. Let's get to some other things like one of the controversies in the one wheel space. What is all the one wheel controversy? One of it is these foot hooks. They just are known by so many. You got the Joe hooks, you got overlanders, you have the owl hooks, you have the hookers, you have control freaks, and there's so many other versions of this. Okay, people are 3D printing their own. You have the Falcons. There is a push now. You have drop the remotes, hashtag drop the remotes. Now drop the foot hooks. Let me ask this, Lily, do you think foot hooks is an unfair advantage when it comes to riding a one wheel in terrain?
Well, if you're racing, yes. And yes.
So you think that there should be separate categories for this, or you think they should all be able to ride together?
No, you shouldn't be able to ride together.
But why? Like, what? Give us.
No, I think
and we want to hear your
I
opinion
think
as
there's
well.
an unfair advantage. Like if I'm racing and I'm going against someone that uses foot hooks and they beat me, well, they were probably able to stay on their board more because they were more stabilized on their board over certain things that would have made me unstable. So like we'll see in here that it's about the rider. And I just think if you want to ride foot hooks, there should be a foot hook division.
Now there is a movement that a lot of people are like, no, just stay. I don't know, OG or just no foot hooks. Like drop the foot hooks, drop the remotes. And I'm not. I had foot hooks for a while, and I did think that I had gained more of an advantage, but my skills didn't increase. I think it sabotages your learning ability on the board, because you don't have to learn to ride terrain. I watched Tyler Explorer, which is Tyler from the factory team. I watched that guy do some spectacular things in the pro feature lines at Dirt Surfers, where his foot is just hanging onto that board, and he made it through the chunky sections, all these things, and it's like, that is skill. Those that are coming in with all these other foot hooks to their deal, it's like, I don't know. It didn't seem as skillful to get through it because you're just locked in. I don't know if I'm where Lily is and say they can't compete and play in the same category, but I do think it sabotages, short circuits your skill development. Is kind of so. Maybe there should be like, for those that are just picking up a one wheel, don't go to the hooks right away. learn to ride trails without it to develop some of those skills that naturally you need to develop, which will make you a better rider. How about you, Hal? We've heard a lot of people that we've interviewed over the past week share their opinion, and we've all just kind of listened. So today is us taking all the information that was given to us and sharing some of our thoughts. Like you're learning to ride a one-wheel. We were talking the other day in the house. Holly's on the longest learning curve of riding a one-wheel. It's taken years.
That's okay. Learning is different for everyone.
But it would like you to get there faster. That's what I would like.
I am fast.
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
We have to actually shoot her in a high frame rate to be able to, or just be blurry. Okay, so what are your thoughts when you hear it? I know you don't ride foot hooks, but when you hear all the things, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, I've never tried it. I probably, I'm probably just the stock rider comes of all of the riders. But I would say that even in these last couple weeks of me like learning to ride, that was one of my biggest things was not being able to do like the toe side, backside type riding or over bumps or things like that. So there's definitely learning that you need to have without foot hooks to get that feel of like, I can go a little faster. I'm not going super fast, but now that I've been doing it for 2 weeks, I can go just a little faster through the yard. And where that was once, it was terrifying to me, So I definitely think there's like learning that you need to have without that stuff. And I do think having foot hooks, I do think, like what Lil said, it gives you an advantage to be able to be locked in on your board a little bit. And so
I can see that through, like, riding through some of the chunky sections. I can see the advantage to it. I think that those that come through without foot hooks, and you were to ask me who's a better rider, and you got rider A riding foot hooks of some sort, and rider B coming through with no foot hooks, and they get through faster, I'm going to go, this rider with no foot hooks is a better rider because they did it without being hooked in. I also think my personal thing is I rode some. I didn't like the idea that I couldn't run out off the board as much. I am the king of going, nope, not for me, and running off the board. Well, when I had those hooks on, I wasn't doing that as fast. It was actually my front foot
because you felt like you were locked.
Well, my front foot was stuck on it, and so it just made me turn and land on my shoulder versus getting my foot out and running it out. And so I didn't have a problem with any version of them. I think they're all great, and we're going to talk about different brands here. But I just didn't like that for my personal style. I didn't like being strapped in, hooked in. Now, I get it. People are going to compare this. Well, snowboards. Could you imagine going down a hill and not being strapped in? I can. I have done that. But we're not talking about ice and snow and a snowboard.
And a hill.
But you are riding downhill. You can't say because most things are downhill.
But
But again, I'm not angry at anyone that does it. Like you got to understand that people choose to purchase and put foot hooks on this stuff. Wonderful. I'm not looking. Oh, that doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me that I would have to race against somebody. And none of us sitting here are contenders for podium. Well, Lily, she podiums every time she goes. What are we saying here?
Well, I race amateur, so.
Yeah, but you're podium every time. You're the top 3. Have you ever gone to a race yet and not been in the top 3?
No.
No, see? See what I'm saying?
But there's sometimes only 2 people.
Oh, you don't need to say that.
But it's true.
But when it comes to you and I winning hardware, you never say that. You're like, oh, who's got the hardware?
Yeah, that's because there's no one else in the race.
Okay. Hey, if you're brand new around here, though, welcome to our podcast where we do talk about the things happening in the one-wheel space. We thank you for all. We got a bunch of new subscribers all of a sudden. Welcome if you're watching today. This is Wednesday. We talk about we do a podcast talking about all kinds of one-wheel stuff, and today it's the foot hooks. If you're brand new to one-wheeling, it's part of an upgraded extra third-party hardware you can put onto your one wheel. Now, we're going to show you 2 different clips of people, one riding with foot hooks and another one riding without. See if you can see any difference. Would you look at one going, wow, that's impressive over another? And put your comments into, if you're watching live at 2:30 Central on Wednesdays, you're watching live, put in the chat which one you thought. You're going, oh, no, that's more impressive. It's not a knock on the rider. Because one of them we know really well and have had on the show, and we think he's one of the funniest and most genuine human beings out there. But here comes someone riding no hooks at all, sending it. Watch this. This is impressive. This was from Neil Bennett's IG. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's super impressive.
No hooks. No nothing. Look at all the check marks there, okay? just sends it. Now, landing straight to flat, that's hard to do as well, and sticks it. I mean, I could watch that all day. And then you just watch, Holly just keeps going, that's impressive. That is impressive. Full
See
send.
how much air he got? And he went over
that whole... He missed the landing. It would feel so much better had he had the landing to land on. But nonetheless, he got air, and there's no hooks to that. Now, here's Jeff Adair, who is a mad mobber shredder. He was here couple weeks ago. He was here. Dude shreds. He's got overlanders on, and now watch the air he gets, and he makes it to flat. And this is mind-blowing nonetheless. Here's him. I believe this is in Arkansas. That's impressive, folks.
Yeah, that's...
But see, he got to get lift a little bit. As you can see there, he's in the air.
Yeah.
And he can pull it up because he's hooked.
Yeah, there's no way you're not, like, pulling up your hips to get a little higher when you are using the foot hooks.
With no foot hooks.
Right.
Yeah.
So
you can't do that on a board without foot hooks.
Correct. Now, my thing is...
air.
When I watched this, and you just saw what you saw, I do think there's a place for the hooks because I think it makes the sport more exciting to watch.
Well,
from a spectator's point, ladies, I think watching someone make it big jumps, like we should have pulled anything from
it's more
Send
fun.
It.
I was gonna say
full Send It Luke, right? Is that his Instagram handle?
Full Send, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He sends it. Now he's got the overlanders on, which are another hook system. That he full sends it, and it's like mind-blowing. So as a spectator and for the sport girl, I do think there's a place for it. I don't think they should be gone forever because there's a space for it. Much like when you go to the X Games and you go to you go to dirt bikes. You get to the freestyle competition. Now they add on things under their bike that they don't do races with to allow them to do the back flips and the front flips and all the body variables that they have on their bike to be able to do those things. But that's what makes their sport, like, to a spectator going, wow. Because if you're not a big fan of the motocross where they're doing just circles or the enduro race where it's really long and you're like, how do I watch that? And the freestyle is inviting for the outside to gain more fans of the sport. So I think the foot hooks will be and should be around.
Yeah, but should they be around for when you're doing more like
what they're
like
doing.
Tricks and
like they're not racing.
Like at Dirt Surfers they did afterward, whoever wanted to be a part of
and the winner
the drop zone and
it had flight fins on.
Yeah. Like that, I mean, that's what when they're needed for sure to do anything like that.
But you say that, and we just showed a video of somebody without any hooks sending it.
Which they could do that. That's
nothing
wrong with that.
But we're watching a clip. We have nobody. Unless Neil's in the chat today, we have no idea how many takes it took for that individual to get that. I don't know. Can we play that video footage one more time? Is there an Instagram handle on there of who that is? As a rider, it might have been in the description. Oh, yeah, right there. At the _ I can't see it across the studio.
Highlight wheel.
There you go. You can see that's who is on their board. Everything has to go right here. Gravity's got to be in effect equally to both parties so their feet stay attached to the board. The whole thing. There's a lot of skill to land it like that. I'm not saying that Jeff, who has the some kind of foot hook system on, can't do that. I'm sure he can. So I'm not knocking skill. I'm just saying it's worth being mentioned. But as we're on the foot hook topic, let's share some of the foot hook out there that are options for you if you want to try them. Okay, one we gave away a couple weeks ago, Joe Hooks. You can follow Joe Hooks on Instagram. They have their version very small and very soft. So it's not a hard plastic that would have a little bit more give. You can check those out. One of the most interesting new foot hook systems is from Flight Fins. These are the Falcon systems. They are very interesting, and they come with options. So this is what they are. The cost of these are
$49.95.
So it's a bit spendy. Now we have a couple of pictures to get. You have multiple positions. So you see that hook system that's on the footpad there. You can move it to the left and the right to move your position. You can see it like there. All those screw holes will allow you to move it to where your liking is. So if you are a goofy rider or not, then you can also change the angle. This is now set up by the fender. So instead of Epic, my son Epic, he rides with that back foot smashed right up onto the fender. He can use this Falcon system to be very customizable. This might be one of the most customizable ones. Now, when I saw somebody use the first setup there, can we put the first shot up of the Falcons really quick? I saw somebody using the Falcons with the flight fins, okay? Let's go to one more shot. Sorry about that. So can you imagine where you see that half fender right there by the tire? Now put a flight fin there and leave that hook there. Now all of a sudden you pretty much have a binding on your board, which I don't think I'm going to ride like that. That's overkill. But nonetheless, their version is very customizable, okay? If we can remember the cost of that, I'm going to actually write that down. It was $250. Okay, $250. Is that the going rate for some system as we go through this? Okay?
Like some type of foot hooks, you're saying?
Yeah, is it $250? Another one, this is one that we are a bit fan favorites of. This is where we went with originally, is Control Freaks. I have no idea how much the Falcon system weighs, but here is a shot of the Control Freaks. They're very minimalistic. They're on the very far side of your board. There is an installation process to it that you screw them to your foot pad on the back through the bottom of it. It's but nonetheless,
that's what you used to have.
Yep, and though that system is very nice. It doesn't add too much weight to your board. I cannot remember. Actually, they were gifted to me by one of the two of you.
Control Freaks. Yeah.
Ryan
Johnson.
Yeah. Do you remember how much you paid for them?
No.
I thought you said they were like, what, 50-ish?
They weren't super spendy.
They weren't super crazy.
But now in that post there, if we put that post
definitely not 250.
Okay, so we're gonna call it around. Let's just call it $50. But this is 2 years ago. Okay, put that shot back up. The post in that post. This is 11 months ago, and this is the last post I've seen Control Freak make, talking about we're gonna take winter to reinvent this thing. I don't know what's going to come as spring comes, as the race season upon us. Yet to hear anything from them. But there's his Control Freaks in their full glory.
It was $160.
$160.
So that's almost That's
wow,
almost half.
But that's $160. You're half the price, but not as robust. Now, Overlanders just released their updated version of the Owl lifters. Okay, I think that's what they're calling. We have a picture of them here. This is straight, some kind of metal. Okay, you can see it right there. The new Owl lifters for Onewheel. Now, the interesting thing when 300, yeah, Lily's giving you 300. Let's go back to that shot really quick. That the thing that intrigues me as I did just a little bit of research here is the TM. I have never seen where somebody would put the name of said thing and then TM.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
I feel like that's
trademark.
Yeah, it's trademark. I think that's a flex. I think that's don't mess with us. There's a whole lot that just made me go in the Onewheel third party realm. That's just interesting to me. But these were created, I believe, for Luke Austin, who's one of the kings of these. Also, Austin Silva and Mercedes used to ride them. They would have one on the front, I believe. They didn't typically, or one on the back, maybe it was. But they didn't ride both of them. They are $300. Is that what it was? $299? Yeah. So your going price for an upgraded thing, you're looking at minimal right now is $160. I do not know how much Joe hooks cost, but it is spendy to get these hooks on there. I do think it's a skill that you can acquire to help you get through those. Watch Tyler again from the factory team. He is like the godfather of don't ride these things because stay pure. Purest movement, I think, is kind of what it is. But interesting.
Said that? Who'd you say that?
Tyler from the factory team.
Yeah, that's.
And then just a nod, a tip of the hat to we have coming from Onewheel Parts, Jeff's team. We have the foot. I think they're just calling hookers. Actually, they're going to come out here soon. It's Tech Rail's version of that. I'm sure they're going to be really slick and robust as well. obviously, it's going to be spendy, so I think you're going to see it fall around the 300 mark would be my guess when they hit market, if they ever hit market. But that is a version of all of these combined into one. To say that foot hooks are a thing that's going out of style, I think that's not a wise statement.
I think they're.
I think they're here to stay.
I think they're only gonna the differences are only gonna grow. I think you even think of last year with what was being used. I think that was just the beginning of the ideas for people. So just kind of depends.
It just depends. And it really, this is what creates some of the controversy inside of the Onewheel community, is that people are like, get so polarized. Oh, you shouldn't, you should. And it's like, cool, share your opinion, but it doesn't mean everybody has to share your opinion. You know what I mean?
Agree with your opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to play on words. Feel free to share your opinion, but not everybody has to share in your opinion going, I agree with you. It's fine with that. I'm okay with that. Especially when you get outside of the Onewheel community and we're coming into a politics season, right? Political season is going to be a little wild. I'm okay if people don't agree with the way I would see things and stuff. I don't lose sleep. I don't even look at somebody and go, they're an awful individual. I'm just like, cool, you have a different opinion than me. I love you for that. That's what makes this world wonderful. If everybody thought the same way, it'd be boring. It would be absolutely boring. But inside the controversy of Onewheels is now what's being introduced in the last 6 months, and some might correct me, it might be sooner, but they're really starting to hit the market now at 5-inch hubs.
I've ridden a 5-inch hub.
You have the other day. She got to mob it the other day. We have enjoyed our 5-inch hub. We have right now in our possession the MTEs, which are from Float Life, which they are selling these right now with a great deal. Okay, here it is, installed with the brand new 655 Enduro. We'll talk about that tire in a second. But there it is, just installed on Monday. We love 5-inch tires. I think if you were going to ask, and maybe it's worth an ask in the chat today, tell us, what do you think one of the first upgrades an individual should do besides guardrails and things of that you would immediately feel or sense the ride change? Okay, so we're going to go around in the studio today. What's the one thing, Lily, somebody buys a GTS or a GT, is there anything you would tell them to upgrade? And I know what your board is, so maybe you wouldn't.
Well, I would say,
you don't have to have one, though.
Well, I really like the 5-inch hub.
Why?
Because I liked riding it. It felt different.
Yeah, do you remember when you first hopped on it? We were in Windman.
Yeah.
And I should have pulled the clip, but it was genuine when she jumped
The board
up.
itself felt lighter, which was interesting.
But
I don't know if that's what it's supposed to create.
But I do think...
I would also say tire.
But I think into what she's saying there, I'm going to help, because we're coming off of Chunk in Windman Trails, brought to us by
gliding.
Brooks and Midwest Onewheel, okay? Those trails were gnarly. She's riding the stock tire on a GT in deflated, so she didn't have much rubber. She felt every little rock.
Yeah.
And when I think you're saying lighter is that you didn't feel...
Right, just glided over it all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was
nice.
We traded boards at the end of the very last race, and I hopped on her. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel everything. It's like walking barefoot.
Yeah.
That's the best way to say it. And so, okay, she's saying the 5-inch rim would be one of the first upgrades. Okay, how about you? How you do you have anything you're going...
Well,
because you've been this poor woman. She's not poor, but hear us on this.
Maybe
she is because of the problem. She doesn't have a Onewheel, so she has to borrow Onewheels. So sometimes she finds herself.
Is great. She's like, take my board whenever you want.
But the other day we were all riding,
so
all of the humans in our house, all 8 children.
I should just leave my GT here.
That's up to you. But she was on the sidewalk. You know how like little kids have to wait their turn to ride a bike or a skateboard because there's enough? She's standing there, pink helmet on, just waiting to ride for somebody to go, here, Mom, you can ride. So she rides pints, XRs, Pint X, GTs, and GTSs, whatever's available. So
Yeah,
if you want to give super thanks and start a GT fund for Holly,
Aw,
she
that'd
would
be
love
sweet.
you for you that. You guys were all super kind to hook Lily up with hers.
Loved it.
And if you didn't, tell them what happened with you and your GT and your husband's XR the other day. Just refresh everyone.
Well, we got posted on Onewheel's Instagram.
Yeah.
It was super kind.
Why aren't we
And-
showing those pictures again? I mean, what's
Yeah,
wrong with
we
us?
should.
I think I'm going to
They're
edit
so
down.
cute.
I thought this morning. I was getting ready today, coming to office. I was like, okay, I haven't edited down all the video footage from your wedding day where you decided to change your shoes and stuff. I'm going to make a video.
That'd be
Okay.
so
I'm going to
cute.
put it
She
out
would
there
love
for the
that.
world to see it.
I would love that.
I gave her the footage to do it. She's not
She-
doing it. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it for her.
She just
So-
said that she loves all of her pictures
I
from
do.
her wedding.
So-
Including my Onewheel photos.
Yeah.
Those
That
are
was-
sweet.
It was very memorable.
Yeah,
They
it's
are
so
sweet.
cute.
You can still
So
see
cute.
and I know we talked about it last week, but you can go to their One Wheel Instagram and go to their posts.
Oh, Holly, you got money.
And
Oh,
so
Garrett,
That was
thank
really nice.
you.
there it is, $20 closer, baby. I said, hey, I don't know
sweet.
how we're going to pull this one off. And then I said, maybe they would love to give for
That's
Holly
sweet,
to be able to
guys.
get a GT or a GTS. And so Mama Bear doesn't need to wait.
I did say, like, I've always, when I rode any other time before, I was on the XR, and I've always liked the ride of the XR. I liked the width of the foot pads. I always just liked everything about it. And so then when I was taking turns on different things and I'd be on the pint is squirrely. I am learning it. I can do it. I don't ride on like grass or trails very well with that. But then when I got on the GT, I was like, yep, this is the one I like.
This is the one I
And
like.
I did ride your GTS the other day with the 5-inch on it. And that's nice because you can get everywhere. You can get up hills. You can get up everywhere with it. So it was,
Yeah, all of a sudden, again, for her to be able to ride everything, she immediately sees the advantages of every board.
yeah,
And it
it's-
was fun to watch, like the hill she crashes on. She just mobbed up it, no problem. So
with the GTS, I got it.
yeah,
No problem.
yeah, and that's phenomenal. So hey, thank you from
That's so
Shane
sweet.
for
Shane, thank
you so much
For a float wheel.
Yeah, that guy. Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Thank you, Michael. You guys, that's very sweet.
Baby, it's
You guys
happening.
are really sweet.
It's
Thank
happening.
you.
You're gonna. I don't even know what you're gonna do with it, but you're gonna be.
She's gonna ride it.
bobbing
I have committed to dirt
Dirt surfers,
I
not
am
in
gonna-
Texas.
No, in Eureka Springs.
You better
Eureka
get on
Springs.
trails.
So
Well, yeah, that's a problem in Minnesota
around
right now.
here, it's terrible.
Right now, it's a problem because the trails freeze and thaw, freeze and thaw, freeze and thaw, which creates mud. It never dries out, and so it's just complicated in those aspects
Yeah.
of things.
And I realize grass is not the same as trails, but like the other day when we were riding, I was like, okay, I see why this is so fun. I see why people love to do the trails and things because
But grass gets you used to, like pavement, nothing wrong with street, but there's the
You don't learn
surface
as
isn't
well,
making
yeah.
your ankles torque around where you have to counteract that. Grass gets you started, then trails begin to get you those things. And so maybe we'll have a GTS by dirt surfers. Who knows? That would be sweet if that, and then because I'm trying to figure out how that looks when everyone's going to be racing. That whose board would they go, hey,
yeah, I just said yes, fine, I'll do it. You have to figure out the logistics of what I'm gonna
I'm
ride.
working on it right here.
Yeah.
Right here, we're working on it.
You gotta figure out
Thank
who's
you,
gonna
honestly.
watch the kids. Who's gonna?
Thank you for everybody doing
Yeah,
that.
that's
It's
very
always
sweet of you
humbling.
guys.
And it is one of those things that anything that we gain from this, if you've been around long enough in the space with us, we're giving stuff away all the time. We keep the smallest amount of things. We don't have a box of things that, we don't write. We just give stuff away all the time. So moving past that, as the super thanks come in, we'll give you a mention and we'll just keep
Right,
it.
Rebellion.
We'll
Michael.
continue to let you guys know where we're at and how we're trending, and we'll keep you posted on it. It'll be pretty fun in it. But the 5-inch hub, I don't know. We do have a review coming, and we're excited to bring this one to you guys. We have a review of MTE 5-inch hub and then One Wheel Parts billet. We're going to compare both of those. What's the differences? Why would you get one over the other? Is there any difference? We're going to do a video on that because we have recognized in this space We haven't seen that. And so we're fortunate enough to get our hands on both those 5 inches, and we're going to compare them. And so there are some advantages in this household having so many Onewheels that somebody wants a 5-inch. It's not like it sits and collects dust. It just gets transferred around here. And so we're excited to bring that review. So if you're like, what one should I buy? If you hang in there about a week, we're going to give you the information. What's the difference of the two? We have the MTE right now, and we love it. You're not going to be disappointed with that one bit.
No, that was
yeah.
smooth. It was smooth.
Installation super easy. The whole thing is the tire install is easy, like very, very simple in the installation. And so we'll talk about the differences. I'm not going to get into that, but if I'm picking right now with this hitting the market in the last 6 months or less,
This is your biggest
this is
upgrade?
the biggest bang for your buck change. Like if you were going to spend somewhere between $150 to $300 for foot hooks, you're not going to get. I save a couple more $100, and you're going to get a 5-inch hub, and you're going to get this experience that's going to change it to the better, I believe. Lily's best explanation is it feels like it's lighter, you're floating better over things. My explanation on it would be you deflate the tire pressure just a little bit, and you are not bonking everywhere, you gain control. Now, up until the 655, our only options were really a 555, which means 5 inches in all diameters of the tire. The 5-inch width kind of made it feel like you're riding a little bit more like a pint. Very, very nimble. When you watch our Windman races, I talk about this thing squirrely. And I wasn't computing in that race because it was my first time hopping on the board. I did what no one should do. Don't show up to a race, never have ridden the 5-inch and just go experiment. That's what I did in that race. And it was fun, but I'm not contending for anything. I don't really care where I fall. Last year, it wasn't about my ranking or anything. It was just about, let's go out there, have fun, make good content. And so I got out there jacking around with the settings in every setting of apps to learn that. And then the tire, learning it, and it felt very, very squirrely. Well, that's because it's only 5 inches wide. The 6 gives you an extra inch, and the stability is now back in the conversation. You are also with the extra rubber that's now that girth of rubber in there. It protects your rim from that clanging of rims when you drop off things and nicking up your rim and stuff. So gone are the days potentially of using some kind of rim saver. So you're looking for your first upgrade. I'm saying I can't disagree with Float Life. It is 5-inch hub. Their deal ends today. Now, there's 3 versions, okay?
I forgot I need to look that up.
I'm going to give you 3 versions. I'm going to try to explain it. It's taking me to ask a lot of questions. I asked Jeff Adair. We had a good conversation the other day while I was running with him. Like, hey, what do you think on the magnet size? Because you have the N42, the N48s, and the N52s.
Yeah, I don't understand any of that.
Yeah, it's the magnet strength. We'll try to break that down as we have the N42s right now, which is the lowest strength of the magnet, which changes top end speed. It changes all kinds of stuff in the torque. It's the smallest magnet. N52 is the highest, most powerful strength of magnet. We will compare the two, because the one that we have coming from Onewheel Parts is an N48, so it's a more powerful magnet. I've not been able to see the difference. My guess is the magnets are longer, therefore you get more power, but I could be very wrong on that. Somebody hopping into the conversation in the chat today, you might be able to tell us the difference. I've not seen them side by side. More powerful magnet equals more power, more torque in a sense, okay? The lower the magnet with the GTS, your top end now is increased. I'm not going to lie. I knew what I was doing to put an N42 in because that's what I have. Float Life was very kind to give that to me. And so in receiving it, beggars don't give you choosers. N42 worked. That's perfect for the GT, standard GT, not the S. But what happens when you put the S stator into it is you get a lot more top end speed. So I'm I went out and tested it. I'd never gone so fast on my one wheel in my life. I was flying. I got the sensation of when I would go really fast on my motorcycle. It's like, oh my gosh. If I fall, I'm going to, no skin is going to be available any longer. But I flew. And no haptic buzz. It was just, it was great. I'm not going to do it again. I'm not one of those guys that records it because I find that those people that are recording it, they tend to, when they're filming this whole situation, looking at the speed here, they fall. And now it's turned into, I hit the hot top speed, but then I ate pavement, and I wasn't trying to do that. So the N42s in a GTS gives you more power, but you lose torque. Or give you more speed, you lose torque. I still love the GTS with the 5-inch because it's still more power than you had with the GT. Holly was using the N42 magnets on the GTS, and she could climb no problem. So it was like, right there's proof in the pudding. We will compare it to an N48 magnet size. That comparison, however, will not be hub to hub in that because the magnets are different. We're just going to look cosmetically at the rims in our review coming up. But you're looking for your bang for your buck upgrade, 5-inch hub all day long. Don't miss out on the sale at the Float Life currently happening, okay?
And what you get, the hub, the 5-inch hub, and you get the
bearing upgrade, and I believe the tire for free. Somebody needs to look that up so we're not getting fake news.
It all comes for, I just had it on here. So you get the MT 5-inch hub, the free 555 Enduro, and Grizzly bearings.
Yeah.
Right? Or the free 655 Enduro. So you get to choose what.
Yep.
The difference.
And you choose what you want. But I believe all they have left right now is the N42s. So that's where you're going to be left. So if you have a GTS, I'm telling you, I did the N42s and it's fine. I'm not whining. I don't go, oh no, I miss everything. I think maybe out on street you would go, I'm missing that torque because you're in straight lines and stuff and that power right from the start. I think when you drop into the trails, it's all going to be there because you're not doing 35 miles an hour in the trails.
And that's going.
I'm not.
The sale is $4.99. Originally $7.21.
It's worth it, everyone. It is worth it. I know that's a chunk of money, and I don't get sales from this, right? Like I'm just sharing our thoughts. We have the opportunity to be able to ride these things and then give you our thoughts on it. I would think even your float wheels out there would benefit from doing this, and so worth it.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Those that do think money, so you're saying 5-inch hub. That's a pretty big upgrade. I get what you're saying. Like when you have any foot hooks or anything, you spend that money, spend a little bit more and get a 5-inch hub. Totally get that. You have it on your GTS.
Yeah. I've had it on the GT.
Yeah. But if somebody has to make a choice and not go that extra $500, should they just put the $500 to get the GTS? Now, I'm talking about somebody purchasing new boards,
well, yeah, you got to.
If you have a GT
I'm
and you're going to
somebody that owns a board right now.
Yes, I get it. But I'm just bringing it up for those that.
I would go get this and do it if I had the GT still. I would go to a more powerful magnet, which would give me more torque and still have the 5-inch.
Go with the 5-inch.
However, when I put the N42s on, the GTS wasn't available, and I loved what I gained from it. It's almost like pick your board, buy your board, and just understand, man, if you save up and spend $500 and get that rim, yeah. Now, the sad thing at the moment, my favorite tire is the Pioneer, which is in stock at Float Life. Here's a picture of this. This is the chunkiest tread I have seen up to this date. And it mobs so good. I've tried it in snow and dirt and everything in between. It is available again. You can get them at Craft and Ride, Float Life, and a couple other places online are stout and they got these things. Love the soft compound. It's worth every penny of it. To get to a genuine treaded tire as race season comes up, you're going to want to have, if you're a racer, you're going to want to have a quiver of certain tires to be able to mob with. And so go check that out if that's your thing. If you're still on the 6.5 rim, this is a definite upgrade to your ride as well. I think anything, if you don't want the 5-inch, upgrading your tire is probably the where you should be.
That's
Now
where
I
you
say
started
that, and
all
I've
these
still let
years
Lily
ago.
ride a year in with her stock tire.
But I like it.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Okay.
You're tolerated.
I'm content.
You're what you are is
That's 'cause
content
she-
with the gift that this community gave you.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
I
it is.
still love riding. I'm not feeling like I need different.
I'm missing
If I was
out.
going pro, I might, but I'm not. So.
Sean Paul has a good thought. He is just saying that if you are under 200 pounds, get the GT and upgrade the MTE. If you're plus 200, spend the extra money, get the GTS.
Smart.
Yeah.
And then later
That's
on, you
good
could
advice.
always upgrade that when you could. So he's just saying to be able to do some of those. Good way to think about
It is.
about it.
It's a great way to think about it. Again, there's so much that comes into that because then I go, man, if you're a rider that you want to go super far, then a GT is you're gonna go back to a GT. However, this trade-in thing that Onewheel's doing just makes me wonder if you're allowing people to trade in
Your GT.
not only XRs but your GT.
Are they gonna
Where are they
discontinue?
going with the GT? Why are they trying to get those off the market and go to the GTS solely? Is that what they're doing? Is it because there's a lot of conspiracies in there again with what is the Onewheel controversy? Somebody immediately going to go because the GT is a bad product. I don't agree with that. We have a handful of them around here. Our kids are mobbing on and they're great. And so I don't think it's necessarily that, but the controversy out there would allude to that. For those that are float wheel riders, I've not messed around with enough. I've not torn one apart. So is it possible to take a float wheel and put the stator of the float wheel into a 5-inch hub and have that experience on your tire on your float wheel? I know it comes in at a 6-inch rim, so you have more tires available to you. It's more of the XR standard rim. You can take this 5-inch hub and put it on an XR, by the way. You could do it on a pint. The thing is, when you get to a pint, just Google, your availability of tires is very small. There aren't actual one-wheel tires. You'd go to a go-kart tire. So just keep that in mind when you're going down that rabbit trail of things. But we have another review coming on the 655. That is awesome. From my style, I know there's a lot of people like Jeff. He loves his 555s. Jeff Adair. I don't like that squirreliness. I kind of enjoy the 7-inch width tire. That stability in the trails. And that's where it comes down to styles, right? Of like, you try all these different tires. Somebody's going to ask, how hard is it to pull a stator out and put it in? It's only nerve-wracking because if you break a magnet, you're over, right? It's over. It's done. If you're slow and you watch the videos from Float Life and from Jeff Adair on his YouTube channel, Onewheel Parts, you can do this on your own. I'm not a genius on these things, and I can do it. And so 5-inch. I think we got a picture of Holly riding it the other day, and it was funny. She had just come off of the XR, I believe, and hopped onto the GTS, and that's her first take on it. And we should have left the audio because she is going.
I'm
She's
like,
oohing
see
and
ya.
on.
Look, I just totally passed him. I'm like, see ya. I'm out.
Yeah, I was
I'm
riding
out.
a pint.
I'm gone. All right, I'll turn back around so I can be right next to you.
See ya.
Yeah, I was on a pint. The pint is now on the ground over there because I fell off.
Whoa.
Yeah, you notice if she looks at someone, she falls.
I can't, yeah.
And now here, that is a
Now,
small
see ya.
hill.
See you later.
And she's just gone. Look at that sunset in the back. Look at one of our kids just chasing her. It was great. But she jumped on it and she's like, this is amazing. This is awesome. I do think it's easier to ride through those things.
Yeah, I could definitely feel the difference in it. You have a couple people responding to you.
Oh, yeah,
Sean Paul says that the stator's
fit.
the wrong size.
Okay, there you go.
So you have that on there.
Sean Paul is like our brains.
He is. He's got a lot of input.
podcast.
Midwest One Wheel popped in and said the 5-inch rim, single best upgrade for the Future Motion One Wheel. The remote is the best upgrade for us.
There it is. Don't drop the remote, everyone. Hold on to the remote.
That's got to be Brooks.
He's in the same boat we are around here in Minnesota. You're either riding street or grass right now because the trails are closed everywhere. Lily helped me do just a little research. I was like, hey, is there any trails? And she's like, there's nothing open for
It might be a little drier.
75 miles kind of deal from here to ride. And so just the way it goes. Hey, we want to give you, you're going to want to screenshot this. And we're going to put them up on Bodie was super kind to put his street settings for his one wheel. on his Instagram story the other day, but stories are only there for 24 hours, and it was a video, so it was very hard to catch everything. We were kind enough for you to screenshot it all. So here we go. This is, and you need to take pictures of it or you'll just put it. Throw the video or pictures up. He is in Highline. You can look down to the bottom left of his settings, okay? So this is a Highline setting, and this is my go-to tune. Okay, here's the first part, and there you just look at the numbers. We're going to give you a second to do whatever you need to do on your device to screenshot this, because you're going to want to match all of your settings to just test out the Bodie vibes for or for street riding. Here's the next one. And you can see all of those numbers, a lot of pluses there, not very many minuses. And you got to make sure at the end of this that you save it when you do the application to your board in this, matching these settings. I always find using the pro settings gives me a go-to starting point and then tweak from there. I thought it was interesting that his jump re-engagement is at 0, the minimal. Just very interesting. And then you can also see a couple other spots where he has it all the way to the left. And so there are his settings. Get out there, mob on him, give him some love, tell him if you liked him or what you tweaked on him for him to know. Yeah, it'd be sweet. Also, Onewheel on their Instagram the other day, and YouTube. I love these videos. I don't know, Lil, if this is one of your favorites or not, where it was if you go get a burrito.
Yeah, they just are funny and fun to watch.
To watch what people will do and how long does it take.
Yeah.
So here's a quick clip of it. It's obviously, it already happened, but you can see it on their YouTube shorts and stuff. Here is, hey, if you bring a burrito to Tyler and Bodie, which these two are the bros now. You catching that?
Totally. Oh my, they go everywhere together.
Yeah.
I love it. It's hilarious.
For whatever reason,
People...
they are it's Ashton Kutcher and what's his name? Hey, dude, where's my car? That's what I'm thinking. I need to tell them that when that's just the vibe I get. They're just great human beings.
Is that what his name is?
Yes. They're just great guys, just bros that are
They need to
mobbers.
come to Minneapolis and give me a Juicy Lucy, and I'll give you this one wheel.
No, I'm saying that I want to do that for them.
Yeah,
Lily and I'll do
it.
that, but we can't give boards away. So we need one
Yeah, but
wheel
how fun would it be to have? We just go down there with them.
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
Awesome
Yeah,
to
it'd
have
be so fun.
in.
They should do that.
So that's what we're saying. We want them to come, and we can assist them, but that would be so funny.
Yes. Hey, and also for all of those racers out there, the time is of essence to sign up for Let It Ride, which is a week from pretty much now. Okay, it's out just outside Las Vegas. It is the fastest growing city in America. And so you get to go visit that. Let It Ride, March 14th through the 17th. It is going to be a spectacular week. Through Craft and Ride, you can sign up, click a link, and then you're going to get this. They're giving a sweet hat away. Okay. And it is the first ORL race of the year, which is a pretty big deal. And ORL has dropped some news. We'll cover some of those details next week they've lessened the amount of riders getting into the actual race, everybody. So that's a pretty big deal. Less of a chance to make it to the dance. And so we're excited to watch the race and get it kicked off. We are so desperately trying to figure out scheduling and how to get out there, bring out some of the kids to race and film the whole thing to be able to document the first race of the season. We're trying to figure out, do we sleep in our car? How to do it?
Do we buy a motorhome?
Yeah, it's 24-hour drive because there's no other way to do it for us. To fly doesn't get our boards out there. To ship 6 boards, that's not advantageous, right? So we're trying the logistics to move this tribe is something to behold. And so if there was a meter, we would be over 75% on our way, but that 25% is a big hill to get over. So, all right, going to end today with a little bit of Would You Ride That? It's one of our favorite segments here where it's just like we present to you guys at home. Would you ride this for your enjoyment? It's to put a smile on your face.
I'm a one-wheel rider.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
she all of a sudden is. It's great.
I want to see you go faster. Let's go.
She's going to get there.
I rode to the
gotten over
studio
hump of
today.
Fall.
I rode to the studio today.
Yeah,
Good
today
job.
she came. It was awesome. She just comes around to the studio / offices, big smile on her face, like I was just out riding my one
Hey
wheel.
guys.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Reed. Okay, here we go. Would you ride that? We got to start with the jingle or the girls will be offended. Okay, that's just the truth of it. They made this jingle up. It's 100% authentic. Their idea. I had nothing to do with it, but out of respect and loyalty to them, I let them do this. Here we go.
Would you, could ya?
Ride that?
We're
Now-
so good at that.
You're so good at it, but our camera,
Scott, you should get in on it.
the camera
Our camera
person
guys.
didn't set it
You want
up
a
right.
part in the jingle?
I do not want anything to do with that
Okay,
outside of the setup.
Would ya? Would
Would
you?
you?
I'm not
should
doing
ya,
that.
Would you? Could ya? And then we all go right.
No,
back.
it's not
Okay,
happening.
ready?
That
One, two,
not
three.
doing it. Start with
Would you,
Lily.
would ya?
No, we got to start the camera on Lily.
Would you?
Would you? Would ya?
Would you? Should you?
I'm not doing it, ladies.
Oh, you stink.
She wanted to say I suck, but
Look, Sean Paul wrote down the body shaping. Good job.
yeah, just kidding.
And he also wrote that he loves the jingle.
Yeah, he loves
Well,
it.
yeah.
Thanks, Sean Paul.
Who doesn't love
Sean
it?
Paul would sing it with us.
I don't want to steal your thunder,
Yeah, okay.
ladies.
All right, what do we got? What do we got?
Okay, here we go. Would you ride that? Check this one out right here, and then we're going to give you, after this, all the races of the season. Would you ride this? Okay, this is a real-life race
heard
down
these.
a mountainside. They are flying.
They look like Darth Vader helmets.
And you know what? For all the crap that we get, like when I say we, I'm talking about me and my family. Anytime we're doing any one-wheeling without like the proper attire,
Lee just called you a fun hater.
yeah, I'm a fun
He
squasher.
says I'm unsubscribing if he doesn't sing it. What a threat.
Oh man. Okay, let's get on to this here. These
No, I would not
individuals,
do this.
they have what protection? Are those like
They've got
iron suits?
They've got stuff on their gloves.
Yeah,
like
that's a
the-
puck.
Yeah.
Big deal. That helps them make turns and stuff. But like if they go down,
Oh man.
I
Oh
mean-
my goodness, he almost did.
that's
This
like
is
I
a
have mad
complete-
respect for that.
Yeah, I
No,
would
for
never
me.
do this.
This is absolutely not.
But but we've done a version of it, like the baby step of it, where we used to go to parking garages and do this.
I did that before.
Yeah, you almost died.
No,
I did.
You almost fell a bunch. It was. I would do it.
Somehow I wasn't near as fearful
I would-
of that.
I would ride this.
We used to fly down parking on our longboards.
Yeah, and we would have loose trucks. What morons were
Oh,
we?
man, it
we didn't
was-
even understand that. Oh
We
wait,
didn't e-
speed wobbles. Tighten up your trucks, because those trucks are like locked and loaded. We're morons when it came to
Oh
riding.
man, what were we thinking?
But I would
had no
ride that.
control.
We got 2 no's.
Yeah, that's a
I'm
no
gonna
for
go
me.
no.
Okay, no goes. How are we feeling at home? Would you know? We got a lot of
Couple
no's.
people say no. A couple
we got a
people
couple
say yes.
yeses.
Somebody says looks like leather. Sorry, looks like leather. Does that really? I mean,
Like their outfits?
yeah,
Or
that's
leather,
great for
maybe?
road rash, but not broken bones.
I would imagine they've got some type of elbow or something.
It didn't
I
look
don't know.
like it.
They are pretty suited up like for aerodynamic
Or dynamics.
type.
Yeah. You got to trade off life or being aerodynamic, I guess. Okay, would you ride that? We got 2 no's and 1 yes in that. All right.
A
Would you
few,
ride
yeah.
this here in the studio? What's your thoughts as we put up another one?
No.
This is a
Yes.
trampoline
Yes.
suspended from a hot air balloon.
They're not going anywhere.
Like, yeah, you know when the hot air
yes.
balloon is stealing their jumps, so they're not really jumping. I wonder if for those that created this, it was like, oh man, the idea seems so much better on land because you got up there and now you can't really jump. Nonetheless, it's pretty beautiful. And then they just jump
would
right
totally
off
do
into
that.
the clouds. I mean, they picked the best day ever. The cloud, like,
Yeah,
right? If the
that's so
clouds
cool.
weren't there, the clouds being below them, for those that are just listening to this, they are above the clouds, and it's a blue, beautiful
And they
day with the
just jump
sun.
right out. They're not. I mean,
It
it's
looks
hard
like
to
you're just
jump.
landing in cotton candy.
Yeah, that looks amazing.
No, I would not do that.
Yes, I would.
When I have jumped out of airplanes repeatedly, the best part was to go through the
Clouds?
clouds because you really you there's a sensation of like how close is the ground when I come through that because there's no depth perception in the clouds
Oh.
and clouds are very very damp. It's all that moisture inside of them. It's surreal. It's so cool. Would I do that? Absolutely. Beats like I would not want to be in a hot air balloon unless I'm doing that. Hot air
Yeah.
balloons look so boring. Like seriously.
Some say with a parachute, still no.
Oh man, the
Lee
parachute.
went skydiving once and he had never
Never again.
Never again.
Wow. Lily, have you ever
plans.
skydived?
No.
Can we do it when you turn 30?
Sure.
30 years old. Okay, so we got a year and a half. Year and a half. You heard it here. We got it documented. That's
30
great.
and a half?
What? A year and a half?
Oh, I thought you said when you turn 30 and a half.
No,
I was
in
like,
a year and a
what?
half, we're going to go do it. So I'm pretty stoked
You
on
don't.
that.
You're. Yeah.
We're all
next year.
going.
Okay.
You too.
Okay.
And me and your husband, we're gonna skydive. We'll document it. We'll put
better
it
get
here.
some-
It'd be wonderful.
Ooh,
Okay.
that sounds.
So
good.
what are we saying? No, that was a no.
Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, for
I'd do
sure. Here's a question for you, Lily. Do you think that the person that controls the hot air balloon should be considered a pilot?
Are they not?
Well, that's what they're called, a pilot.
Are
But
they?
but have
Well-
they been through the schooling?
yeah, but the controls on a hot air balloon are not the same as.
Right, it's
as
misleading, right?
No.
What?
They'd
It's
be a hot air
misleading?
pilot.
I
You-
think
what
that-
are you? Hey, I'm a pilot. Oh, cool. Like,
I'll
Put it
ask
on-
a pilot his thoughts.
I would say a hot air balloon is I think they should be calling themselves a hot air balloonist.
Conductor.
Conduct, no, it's for a train.
They
So a hot
probably
air
don't wanna be
balloonist.
called that.
Because really, like, what do you
Wizard.
really need to do? Like, you just pull the handle.
No, you have to know how to evacuate a serious situation.
Yeah, jump.
No, people are saying they should be called a pilot.
They should. So, like, let me ask this question:
flying.
You're in a plane, and a pilot comes, "Hey," or an airline stewardess comes to you and goes, "Hey, we need a pilot," and you raise your hand. I'm one. What's the last time you flew? Hot air balloon. Would you go? Oh, cool. Because what are they going to sit down in the chair and go? Where's the lever where I just pull?
So
I just
you're
know
just
that.
saying there is definitely training involved to be able to.
Yeah, Sean Paul says hot air balloonists are pilots. It's not as simple as some people think.
But they're
What?
called
See,
pilots because a pilot is anything that flies in the air.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, but
Yeah, think
So-
about a drone
hold
pilot.
on, hold on. But
They're not even flying.
I need some help, Sean, on a hot air balloonist. Can you steer the thing? Like,
Yes.
how do you steer it? You're just literally just filling the thing
No,
with
you
hot
can
air,
steer it.
and you
He's-
go up, and then the wind.
You are
He's
to
saying not all pilots are qualified for all like
Crap.
aircrafts.
Okay. I just feel like like this. I don't own a hot air balloon.
Sean Paul's on it today.
Good. I like Sean Paul, so it's good. It's good. Here's the deal. It's like the idea of going into a hot air balloon doesn't like do anything for me. Just to go in there. Now, if
would
it was
be
like with you,
beautiful.
Holly, and we're going up there and we're gonna like, hey, let's have a picnic up there. That's great. But then all of a sudden, I got a stranger involved in this scenario. So it's you, me,
It's
and
not really-
some pilot.
Unless you knew them and they were your friends.
Some pilot is there. Like I don't know. And
Well,
you and I are trying to
great.
talk like Holly, and then
Lily's husband can
and you can't
become
hear
a
me because all you hear.
air balloonist pilot, and we'll go on a double date.
You know what I'm saying,
would
Lil?
do
Like
that.
you talk. I'm gonna be the hot air balloon.
Holly, nice today. Holly, give me a kiss.
The only worst thing about hearing all that noise is not. I'm stealing that from a
my
comedian, by the
gosh.
way, everyone. We heard it the other day, and I thought it was hilarious. So,
Oh,
and
that's
we have
funny.
that. I would want to be on the trampoline for sure. Okay, we got one more for you, I believe. Would you ride? This is a series of parkours onto poles.
Wow.
No. I'm just going to see. It's a heavy no. No. You're just dropping onto a pole.
Can you imagine being the guy in the car, like, next to it?
Could you imagine not hitting the pole?
What? Oh,
Could you?
no way.
I'm not even just jump out of that normal, but then you want to go do that flip deal? That? What?
Ouch.
What? Yeah. What if you throw yourself too hard and all of a sudden
Ow!
your
He
future
did
of having
throw
children?
himself too hard.
No, I just don't. This one, a strong no.
Oh,
I'm this like, and then this next clip, this guy checks it out. Oh, let me look at that. He smiles, and then he goes and does it. Nah, this one, no, nope. Oh, good, I landed on this 6-inch beam, but if I would have missed it, I would have fallen to my death.
Yeah, no, all of
All
that's
of
no
those,
for me.
no.
This was
No.
a full 3 no's for me today. I don't know
Full
if that's ever
no's.
Yeah, you're
happened.
getting old.
Yeah.
We're here to rescue you
But
from
I
that.
also agreed to skydiving, so.
Yeah, that you in your mind you felt like that's safer. But I think when we skydive, we're gonna have to merge two of these things together now: skydive with a hot air balloon.
No, something with one wheel. We'll skydive to our
Very
one
good.
wheel.
Oh, let's go out to
hooks.
you. Well, now we're base jumping, and you aren't qualified to do that.
What?
Well, we could one wheel like out in Utah off a cliff and then throw the parachute out, and now we're base
No,
jumping.
I agreed to skydiving.
Yeah,
wanna
I know.
Go from a plane in the sky.
No, let's jump out of a hot air balloon.
Okay.
Then we're merging the two things together. Then it's like that's why I got in a higher balloon.
Okay.
But it would have to be a certain hot air balloon because you got to get over 10,000 feet.
Okay.
Because you got to pull your chute at 5,000. Unless you really want to risk it and you kind of just wait a little bit longer, but then that makes your heart go a little bit more. It's just, Sketchy. Okay, hey, let's run through all the races so you know what to be signing up for, saving your bucks after you buy the 5-inch rim, whatever money you got left over, and you buy a tire that you like. Then you can go to one of these races. You have Let It Ride, like we said, next week. It's the first ORL event of the season.
Woo-hoo,
We're excited
let's
about it.
go.
We're going to see who Joes and pros are this season. It's going to be wonderful. Okay, we're going to buzz through these. You can go to their handles and Instagrams to get all of the information you need. Next one is, you're going to need them, put them up for me. And next, these might not be in actual order. Here we go. Lemonade Float Fest 2 with Dirt Surfers. That's in
Austin, Texas.
April is that one, which would be your next destination. These are all ORL events. Then you have Dirt Surfers, Eureka Springs. It is May 17th through the 19th. We should get the updated picture because they have corrected it since that.
Yeah.
And you can register. So registration is opened now. So you can sign up for that as well. Oak City Shredfest, May 2nd through the 5th. That is going to be a phenomenal one. Then, and you notice there's a lot of new, I said new. How about North Carolina? Moving on to your other events that you can sign up for. You have Shredfest 4. This is June 13th through the 17th. This is in California. It's a go-to destination. It is a festival. It is one that everyone talks about that goes there. So Shredfest 4. This is going to be awesome. So Wheel Scorchers is also a one for you in North Carolina as well. They have one more event in North Carolina. The Wheel Scorcher, I believe, took a year off, and they are back, which is great to see them in the ORL circuit for another round of spectacular racing. A couple more races for you to be made. Float Life Fest, that's happening this fall, September 12th through the 15th. It is in Old Fort, North Carolina, everybody. Tickets you can buy at floatlifefest.com. So that is great news. And then you have Midwest Onewheeling, who is presenting to you one of our favorite. It's just over the river and up north a little bit. This is September 20th through the 22nd of 2024. This is Windman, everyone. And that is what we know at the moment for races that are happening. Make a point to get to all those. Everyone, thanks for hanging with us today for One Wheel Wednesday. We have Lily's wedding ride dropping tomorrow.
Oh, wow. You committed yourself to that one.
Oh, yeah, I'm in on it. That means I got to wake up early, get it edited, get it posted, and get it done, along with my regular.
Early, 6 a.m.?
Maybe. For everyone that thinks that, like, this is our main job, this is not our job. This we just enjoy. This is us trying to do what our ability is and skills. We can just talk. We're good talkers. And so we like to talk about things from all angles and get everybody on here. It's been a great run for the last about 4 or 5 weeks, having different people from the community on the conversation. So we were excited to interview last week Nico. That was great. Good human. Jeff the week before. Before that, Austin Silva.
More pros to come.
And we had Allie a couple weeks ago. We've just been on one. We've been on a run for a while, so it's good, ladies, to just hang with you, hear your thoughts and opinions, get a life check-in on both of you.
From some real riders, huh?
From real riders, down to earth, Midwest riders right here. Okay, there you go. I think this Sunday, Lil, because we're hanging. Lily's gonna come over and her husband will come over. I think the 4 of us should just go on a ride.
That sounds so nice.
We've never done that.
I would love that.
Oh, by the way, I was gonna tag you in a video that we did. That we did something that you and yours failed at. Do you know what that is when it surrounds one wheels?
No.
Did you even know that we did
Getting
something?
married? With a
You didn't fail.
Well, I
We
don't know what
failed
you're
that.
talking about.
Okay, the other night.
We can hold hands.
Yeah.
I saw.
Yeah, and you and Jordan did that. Remember that?
Yeah.
And you crashed?
Yeah, but I was also on a plus that was not safe. I was not safe for anyone to ride.
No, it is not. But we had a good laugh because we did something that.
I noticed that was hilarious.
But Holly did almost kill me off camera. She rode right
No,
at
I
me.
didn't.
Yeah, remember you came
What
at me.
happened?
I was in full control.
Uh-huh. Yes, you were. That's not what I felt.
I'm
Nonetheless.
so agile on that board.
Yeah, you're like a cat. Here's a question about a cat, since you
Okay.
both love cats, and then we're going to end it because Lily's got some things to do, and I'm going to help her get it done. Lily, if you took your cat that you loved, Lily's turned into a cat person. She wants more cats, so if you have litter of kittens,
what
she wants
about
one.
my cat?
This is just a test, okay? You know how, what's the saying? Cats always land on their...
Feet.
When you drop a piece of toast with jelly on it, it always lands what side?
Jelly side up.
Okay.
Nope,
No,
down.
Down.
That's...
I don't know the
Okay.
saying.
So if you take a piece of toast with jelly on it
Yeah,
and
the
you
cat
strap it to
on
the
it.
top of the cat and you drop the cat, does it land on its side?
It evaporates.
Oh, okay, there you
Gone.
go. There you go.
Cat
If-
too, though. So you don't want your cat to disappear. Don't.
Yeah,
do
you
it.
don't want if you want your cat to disappear, the hack is put toast with jelly on it on its back and drop it.
Oh my word.
Ridiculous.
Finish. All right,
That was
thank you.
so
Thanks,
worth it.
everybody.
Thank you,
Buddy.
everyone. The super thanks. You've just started Holly's bank account for a GTS. She feels loved. We
Appreciate
are
it.
excited about all those things to see her get to mobbing. I think Dirt Surface is only the beginning for this lady. She's going to win her. I'm predicting it. 2024, you're going to win your division.
Let's go.
Can you back that up?
44 and floating, baby.
Yeah, that's
my
what she
God.
says. That's her hashtag. So you're going to win the 44, whatever that bracket is, you're going to win, right?
I'm going to do my very best.
Okay, we heard it first.
Great
Everybody,
answer.
have a great One Wheel Wednesday. Everyone get out there, ride. Have a great day. I hope you smiled a little bit today because that's the hopes. Inform you, make you smile a little bit. Thanks for playing all the
Bye,
games with us. We'll
everybody.
see you next week.
Bye.
Adios.